They call me the quiet healer of the East, an American doctor who left the noise of New York hospitals to study aging, vitality, and intimacy in the quiet countryside of Japan. For more than 4 decades, I've listened to the unspoken stories behind closed doors of shame, regret, loneliness, and longing. But I've also heard stories of hope, renewal, and rediscovery. Today, I want to speak about something most people whisper about sex after 50, or more precisely, the loss of it. Let me take you back to a conversation I had on a rainy afternoon in Kyoto with a man named Genji, who at 79 had the clarity of a monk and the courage of a child who asks bold questions. The quiet crisis. He sat across from me with green tea in hand, eyes steady but heavy. "Sensei," he said, "they tell us to walk more, eat better, and take our pills. But no one talks about the empty bed. No one talks about what we lose as men." I knew exactly what he meant, and I also knew he wasn't alone. After 50, men and women alike begin to experience what I call a silent divorce, not from each other, but from their bodies, from their desires, from their sense of youth and connection. Libido fades, energy weakens, marriages grow cold not because of a lack of love, but a lack of awareness, communication, and understanding of what is happening inside the body and mind. What really happens after 50? Let's start with the truth. Around the age of 45 to 55, men begin to experience andropause, the male version of menopause. Testosterone levels drop by 1 to 2% every year. This isn't just about sex. It's about drive, mood, muscle mass, sleep quality, and yes, the desire for intimacy. For women, menopause marks a shift in hormones that can lead to vaginal dryness, reduced sensitivity, emotional changes, and a profound shift in self-image. Many begin to feel invisible, not just to society, but to themselves. What's heartbreaking is that many couples who once shared long nights and playful mornings now lie beside each other in silence, believing that the absence of sex is just part of getting old. But it doesn't have to be. Genji's story. Genji had been married to Eiko for over 50 years. They had raised children, traveled, and grown old together. But he confessed, "It's been over 10 years since we touched each other like we used to. Not because I don't love her, but because I started to feel less like a man." It started with stress at work, then weight gain, then medication for blood pressure, then sleepless nights. Slowly, sex felt more like a memory than a reality. And eventually, they both stopped trying. He wasn't asking for passion like when they were 20. He just wanted to feel alive again, to hold her and feel that spark, however soft, however slow. And so we began a journey together, reclaiming intimacy after 50. The hidden truths. The body is biological, not betraying you. What Genji didn't know was that his symptoms, low energy, reduced libido, lack of morning erections, were physiological, not personal failures. His body was calling out for balance. After tests, we found he had low testosterone, elevated cortisol, and borderline insulin resistance, all of which suppress sexual function, mood, and energy, and all of which are reversible with targeted changes. Movement heals. We began with gentle strength training using resistance bands and light dumbbells 3 times a week. Why? Because muscle mass is directly tied to testosterone production. Within a month, he started sleeping better. And with better sleep came better mood, then energy, then desire. Food can be fuel or fire. We adjusted his diet, cutting refined carbs and adding healthy fats, avocados, walnuts, sardines, and olive oil. These fats help build sex hormones and reduce inflammation, which is one of the greatest hidden killers of intimacy. Supplements that matter. We added vitamin D, zinc, and magnesium, all scientifically proven to support hormonal balance, nerve function, and blood flow. And of course, we addressed his vascular health, because without good circulation, desire can knock, but the body won't answer. The emotional reset. Perhaps the most powerful shift came when I encouraged him to talk to Eiko not about sex, but about touch, memories, the seasons of their marriage. They began taking evening walks again, holding hands, sharing baths, as is custom in many Japanese homes. The warmth returned, not just in their bodies but in their bond. The science behind the flame. Modern studies back what I've seen in thousands of cases. testosterone replacement in deficient men. Over 50 can improve libido, mood, and bone density when used responsibly under medical supervision. A study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that weight loss, strength training, and improved sleep had comparable effects on sexual satisfaction as many medications. For women, pelvic floor exercises, omega-3 intake, and vitamin E have been shown to improve lubrication and arousal. Mindfulness and gentle sensory practices, even something as simple as placing your hand on your partner's heart while breathing together, can reignite connection without performance pressure. This isn't about reclaiming your youth. It's about rediscovering the language of touch, presence, and appreciation. Genji and Eiko, 1 year later. When I visited them the following spring, their garden was in bloom. Eiko served green tea, and Genji looked stronger, lighter. "We've found a new rhythm," he said. "It's not wild like before, but it's honest, and it's ours." They had redefined intimacy not as an act, but as a way of being. A language spoken with glances, with hands, with quiet Sunday mornings spent close and unhurried. Genji smiled, and for the first time in many years, he looked like a man who had found his home again, not in a house, but in her presence. So what can you do? If you're reading this and feeling the echo of Genji's story in your own life, know this: you are not alone. And more importantly, this is not the end of the road. Here's what you can do. Starting today, get checked. Blood work for testosterone, estrogen, thyroid, and cortisol can reveal much about your sexual health. Move your body. Even 20 minutes a day of strength training or walking can transform hormones and mood. Eat for your hormones. Prioritize fats, fiber, and whole foods. Eliminate sugar and processed grains where possible. Speak. Don't let silence rob your connection. Start the conversation not about sex, but about closeness. Touch without goal. A kiss on the forehead. A hand held in stillness. These are not preludes, they are intimacy in themselves. Nourish the nervous system. Practice breathing, meditation, or time in nature. When stress drops, desire often returns. In summary, loss of sex after 50 is not inevitable, it is understandable, reversible, and deeply human. The decline in libido is often a signal not of aging alone, but of imbalance in hormones, stress, lifestyle, and unspoken emotional needs. Science has shown that strength training, proper nutrition, emotional reconnection, and medical support can reignite intimacy at any age. You do not have to settle for silence. You do not have to surrender your connection, your pleasure, or your identity. You only need the courage to begin again with kindness, with curiosity, and with the quiet hope that even after the longest winters, spring still returns. If this story resonated with you, please like, comment below what you've learned or experienced, and subscribe for more heartfelt, science-based health wisdom from someone who believes your best years may still be ahead.